Definitely. I mean, for me personally, it was a big change coming over here. I had to shuffle my classes around and stuff, and kind of had to do a little bit extra for the school requirements. And so, yeah, it's nice to just have it over with and just kind of focus on one thing.
The goal you guys had at the very beginning of the season to get to the Orange Bowl, obviously you're there now. What's it been like knowing, hey, you're playing in a big-time bowl game on January 1st?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've played in 2 bowl games, but this is my first BCS game, and it's pretty exciting going to Miami. And I mean, winning the ACC championship was definitely awesome. I hadn't won a conference championship before, and yeah, so I'm kind of just taking everything in stride and trying to absorb it as best I can, just so I can enjoy it as much as possible.
What's the preparation been like for Northern Illinois? People look at the name and say, okay, it's just Northern Illinois, but they're still a really good team. They won 12 games.
Yeah, I mean, they won 12 games. I think they lost their first game and they won 12 in a row. So, I mean, they're on a hot streak, and they have a great quarterback. Their defense is solid. And the first couple practices, we've kind of just been focusing on getting back into football shape. And we're starting our heavy game planning practices starting tomorrow. But, I mean, yeah, everything's been geared up towards Northern Illinois, and we're definitely not taking them lightly.
Talk about just in general the transition for you, because you had so much going on before you even got here. What was it like just getting to Tallahassee and kind of getting acclimated to a whole different place?
Yeah, it was really busy. I had to, obviously make my decision very quickly, and I came down here for a weekend visit, and then I went back home, and then I think like 2 days later I was coming back down here for camp. So in that time, it was like a 5-day period. I had to get all my classes transferred over, credits transferred over, my major status, in the system, get my schedule. Everyone had already done their schedule, so I was really late. I had to do some classes at times that I really wouldn't have liked, some 8 a.m.s, but got those out of the way. And then after that, it was a whole nother class, really, which is football, learning the offense. It's another brand new offense for me. So, yeah, it was definitely really busy, really hectic, but things really settled down during the year, and all the coaches, Coach Fisher, Coach Coley, all the guys, were really good with helping me out and trying to make it as smooth as possible.
No matter what football is, the game of football doesn't really change. But what's the difference playing from the Big Ten going to the ACC?
A lot of the stuff that guys would just joke around. I had to start. I couldn't be slow anymore and stuff like that, and it was a little bit fast down here. But there's good players all over the place. There are different styles, I guess, by conference. But I think with the ACC, the ACC has some great players, some great teams, and so does the Big Ten, SEC, all these conferences. I'm not really sure if I can pinpoint like one big difference. I think maybe just the overall style of defense, I think, in the ACC is a little bit different. I think in the Big Ten, you see a lot more base 4-3, and down here, there's a lot more spread teams, so it's kind of just more defensive backs. But, more teams are going to the spread now, even in the Big Ten, so I think the game overall is kind of evolving.
Talk about that USF game for you, catching the touchdown.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Just it was almost like a culmination of a lot of different stuff for you.
Yeah. I was definitely really happy about that. Not just because I got to score a touchdown, but we needed it. The game was pretty close at that point. But yeah, it was just a play that we've had in like the whole year pretty much. There's there's 3 options on the play, and I just happened to be open, so I'm just happy I caught it, and just happy we won the game. But yeah, that was definitely pretty. Just kind of a sigh of relief, actually. Okay, I'm here now. I'm officially a Seminole. If I wasn't before that, EJ actually came up to me after the play. He said, "Welcome to Florida." So I guess I'm finally a Florida boy now.
A lot of people, when they transfer, they go into a different unit no matter what position they are. And they might have some people in front of them, but the guy you have in front of you play with, Nick O'Leary, is maybe one of the best in the country. What's it been like kind of just gelling with him and playing alongside him?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing for me was just, learning the offense. Everyone the routes are kind of the same everywhere. The plays, the running schemes kind of the same. There's a little bit, there's some differences everywhere, but just learning the terminology was big. Nick's been here for like 2.5 years now, so he obviously knows the offense the most out of all of us, so he was good with just helping me out, especially in preseason camp. I just kind of hear the plays, look over to him, and just be like, oh, I'm like, all right, yeah. And so yeah, he was good with helping me out, and just things with the routes and the blocking scheme, just understanding it, understanding what Coach Coley wants, as opposed to where I was before, and just learning the the language of the game here at Florida State was probably the biggest thing that he's been able to help me with.
I want to ask you, you obviously had some suitors when you decided to leave Penn State, and was it you who called Coach Coley at first, or what was?
Yeah, I got recruited by Coach Fisher and Coach Coley when I was coming coming out of high school. I was a junior in high school, and I made a visit down here. Got a chance to talk with them and develop a relationship with them. He came to my high school to see me a couple times, so I already had that foundation there. And when everything unfolded, and I was just trying to run through my head, who did I like, who do I know that I know is still at a place where they were when I was in high school. And Coach Cole, was probably the first name that came into my mind just because of how awesome he was, and he was recruiting me. And we had a great relationship when I was getting recruited, and he has a really good relationship with all of his recruits, and Coach Fisher as well. And so I think that's kind of what drew me to start that communication and just get the whole process moving to see where they were, and if it would work out, if they had a spot, and just the situation in general. So yeah, I felt really comfortable with it.
So you called him though, just to kind of just see if they're interested. Have you ever taken a visit here or anything during recruiting, or?
When I was in high school, yeah, I took a visit down here in the summer.